Factor trinomials where a is equal to 1. So we're going to do a couple of questions in different parts. So this question says factor the trinomial completely, x squared plus 14x plus 49. So a trinomial is a three-term polynomial. So we can see here we have three terms. We have the x squared, we have the 14x, and the 49, and they're being added. So the simplest way of doing this, you have to find two numbers that add to give you the middle term and multiply to give you the last term. So specifically we're looking for numbers, right? So you need numbers that multiply to give you 49 and that are going to add to give you 14. And one strategy is to just write the factors out. So 1 times 49 gives you 49. The only other number that goes into it is 7, so 7 times 7. If you add these up, 1 plus 49 is 50, 7 plus 7 is 14. So this, that's where your numbers come from. So you have to find the two numbers. The two numbers are 7 and 7. So the way we write our answer is as binomials. I know that I'm going to need these 7s. X times x is going to give me my x squared. And then because these are positive 7s, we're going to write it like this. So this is a shortcut. I'm going to explain in more detail where this comes from. But this is one way of doing this problem. So part 2 is the same problem, but now we're going to factor it by grouping. The work is the same. We still need to find numbers that multiply to give us 49. We still need to find the ones that add to give us 14. And we found it. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7. So your numbers are 7 and 7. So here's where things start to change. We have to rewrite the middle term. So that middle term, 14, actually came from the 7 plus 7. So we're going to rewrite this as x squared. The plus 49, that's not going to change. But that 14x we're going to write as plus 7x and plus 7x. We need the x's because it's 14x. So now we're going to do what's called factor by grouping. We're going to group the first two terms. We're going to group the last two terms. And then we're going to take out common factors. So I can take an x out of those first two pieces. There's an x that's common. In the second set of parentheses, I can take out a 7. I can divide 7 out of 7. I can divide 7 out of 49. So if I take x out of the first parentheses, what I'm left with is x plus 7. If I divide a 7 out of the second parentheses, I also get x plus 7. Oh, how convenient. These two factors are the same. They should be. So I can now take out that x plus 7 as a common factor, and I'm left with the other x plus 7. And that's how you also write your answer. This method is longer, but it does help build the understanding of where this answer is coming from when you're multiplying binomials and going back and forth. So another type of question that you can get when factoring trinomials like this is one that's not in standard form. That is not in standard form. So we want to write trinomials where there is a x squared or any variable, and then an x, and then a constant. So this is where this a piece comes from over here. So if we rewrite it, we're going to get t squared. That's a plus 7t or positive, and then minus 44. So let's start doing some math. We need numbers that are going to multiply to give us negative 44 and add to give us a positive 7. We can start listing them. 1 times 44, 2 times 22, 4 times 11. That's going to be it. I purposely did not use the negative because all of these factors, we have 3 sets of factors. Now it's going to double to 6 because you could put a negative on either one of these. So here's what I would suggest. Each of these you add or subtract depending on the signs. So I know right now, I'm just going to jump to it, that 4 and 11, if I do 4 plus 11, it's going to give me 15. It's not going to work. If I do 11 plus 4, it's also going to give me 15. If I do 4 minus 11, it's going to give me negative 7. And if I do 11 minus 4, it's going to give me positive 7. So because they're multiplying to a negative number, you have to check all the adding and subtracting. This gives me positive 7, which means the numbers I'm going to use for my answer are actually not 4 and 11. It's 11 and negative 4. The negative 4 and the positive 11 were added to get negative, or to get positive 7. And if you add or multiply positive 11 and negative 4, that's going to give you the negative 44. And then we could write our answer as t plus 11 times t minus 4. And that would be how you factor trinomials if the first term is a 1x squared.